few days ago, Google dropped its latest AI model, Gemini 3, and according to literally everyone, it is the best model out there, a full 3 points ahead of ChatGPT 5.1. But is it the best model for you? Because while Gemini 3 made significant advancements in math, reasoning, multimodal tasks, and agentic AI coding, I can't really tell the difference between Gemini 3 and 2.5 for like simple questions and answers, basic writing help, and a few other things. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the pros and cons of Gemini 3, including the use cases of workflow automation, which, in my opinion, is the most underrated advancement of this model. Let's get into it. Firstly, we have better multimodal capacity, which makes the model work even better with text, speech, image, and video. But what does this actually mean in practice? Well, historically, you've been able to analyze and produce images with prompting. But if you want to do it with videos, it's a different ballgame. This requires a lot more in-depth analysis because the model needs to go frame by frame, word by word, and understand it as a whole to then be able to produce the outputs that you're looking for. But I feel like Gemini 3 does a really good job with this. Let me actually show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go here to Google's AI Studio, and I'm going to put Google's own Gemini 3 video, which is roughly 2 minutes. And I can see here right away, it's going to take 12,000 tokens, which honestly, it's not that much. The token efficiency in this model is pretty good. Then I'm going to get this. Okay, cancel and use temporary chat. And yes, at approximately the 30-second mark of the video, the narrative says, Gemini 3 is the strongest model in the world for multimodality and reasoning. It's our most intelligent model that helps you bring any ideas to life. And this is actually correct. I did check before putting the video here. So that's pretty cool. You're able to put as many videos as you want into the model, and it will tell you exactly what is being said or what is being conveyed at any given time of that video. And I think this can be really helpful for people who are analyzing videos at large scale. So either documentaries or learning videos, courses, and things like that. I think that can be really, really cool. It can also be good to analyze commercials. They are normally in video format, so you can try to extract insights there that help you get a competitive advantage. Now we have Google Search. Gemini 3 is capable of creating interfaces based on your queries, instead of giving you this preset view that you've been used to for the past decade. I really feel like Perplexity has been the one leading the charge with AI-powered search, and honestly, I've been using them more and more lately. So it's very interesting to see Google finally fighting back and bringing something that's truly different. But yeah, as you can see here, you can search via the AI bot, and Google will produce a specific interface for the query that you're searching for. And this will be adaptable and adjustable as you go along. Then you have Google's new IDE called Anti-Gravity. And if you're non-technical, this won't matter too much, but it's essentially an environment where you can code. Now, this is oddly similar to Windsurf, which Google kind of bought a while back. But with Gemini 3 AI coding agent, it's meant to be able to handle larger projects and have a lot more autonomous edits than ever before. Google frames it as AI coding agents that kind of report to us and act on our behalf. And they can do things like taking screenshots of bugs or doing screen recs of features. You can also do something that I think is pretty amazing, which is mocking a website with Google's AI suite like Nano Banana. But then when you want to make adjustments to it, you can use Gemini 3's coding agent to essentially be a UX designer and prompt it where you want to change it and how you want to change it. The agent will take your feedback and implement the changes instantly. And if that wasn't enough, you can also request full-on features to be built without actually having to write the code for it. I think overall, Anti-Gravity has a lot of potential. I'm still yet to try it properly, so I won't judge it fully, but stick around in this channel because I might make a video about it. Now for me, this is the big one. This is the most underrated capability of Gemini 3 applications. The agent in this model has the capability of completing tasks on your behalf, which can be super powerful if you use it on your Google workspace. To give you an example, Gemini 3 can pull all of your emails because it has access to your Gmail account, and it can put together a dynamic interface for you to review everything you need. And it even suggests different replies for each of the emails because it has context of each of those conversations. You can simply accept or reject suggestions and move from there. This should help you save so much time. And I really think this capability is just the beginning because you can then start applying Gemini 3 to other parts of your workspace, such as your docs, your sheets, your slides, and even your Google meetings. And here are 3 super quick, powerful examples of how you can do this. One, create slides with a prompt. There are already other startups that do this, like Gamma, for example, but here you don't need another subscription. You don't need another environment. You already have your slides, which are in your workspace. Simply prompt the presentation that you want to build, and Google will do that for you. Two, create meeting notes from a Google meeting that go straight into a Google Doc after your meeting is finished. Again, you can do this sort of thing with Granola, for example, but now the capability is coming straight into the Google Workspace through Gemini 3. And three, get insights from your Google Sheets. You will most likely have Google Sheets with loads of data, loads of graphs, and sometimes you don't really want to have to go through it manually. You just want to pull a specific insight. With Gemini 3, you're going to be able to just prompt your model, pick the insight you want, and move on. Instead of spending an hour looking through it, you can probably spend something like 30 seconds. Now, admittedly, setting up these functionalities require a little bit of tinkering and a little bit of scratching below the surface level. So if you're not technical or if you're not familiar with how to do these things and how to play around with app scripts, with APIs and so on, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But you can just reach out to me on my website right here, and I'm more than happy to see if I can support you with that. And of course, I couldn't finish the video without mentioning some cons. And the first one has to be the price. Gemini 3 is more expensive than ChatGPT 5.1 and a little bit less expensive than the latest model of Claude, which is known for being super expensive as well. So if you want to build with Gemini 3, you're going to have to be a little bit careful, because if your context goes over 200K, it becomes very, very pricey. So if you're thinking about just experimentation, it can really end up breaking your bank if you're not careful with it. The other con is the step taken between Gemini 2.5 and 3 when it comes to light multimodal tasks. Let's take, for example, asking to describe an image. Let's take this example right here. I'm going to upload this picture into LM Arena so that I can compare Gemini 3 and Gemini 2.5. And I'm going to ask the model to describe this image. Now I had to speed this up because it took approximately 30 seconds for Gemini 2.5 to give me a response, which is normal given I'm using LM Arena. However, what I didn't expect was for Gemini 3 to take 3 times as long. Now, right off the bat, the first thing that I noticed is the amount of time that it takes for each of the models to complete this task. Well, Gemini 2.5 is a little bit faster with 30 seconds to perform this task, as you can see right here. Gemini 3 took a full minute extra to be able to perform this. Now, of course, I'm going to skip ahead a little, and you're going to be able to see the result right here. Now, granted, by reviewing both of those, instantly, I feel like Gemini 3 gave me a better response. But nevertheless, the speed at which it's performing, it's noticeable, at least for me. But other than the speed, I mean, the response is much clearer. And the same applies for simple Q&A. While it may be much better to use Gemini 3 for deep thinking, for heavy, complex problems, I do think that Gemini 2.5 is much better for quick Q&A, quick replies, things that are generic enough and don't really need a lot of processing power. But this has been my summary of Gemini 3. I'm pretty happy with the model. I am very keen on exploring it more and more, and I'm surely going to make some more videos about it. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, leave any questions you have in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.